Alright, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be talking about the Jimmy Butler situation one more time. Another suspension has happened today. This has been a very confusing, annoying, crazy saga so far for the past month and a half-ish. We're going to talk all about it here in today's video again. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. It's our Twitter and all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So we're talking about Jimmy Butler once again. We know this is the saga that is kind of, I guess, in a way, taking over the NBA, even though there has been too much stuff about it recently. But we all know with the situation going on, Jimmy Butler doesn't want to be in Miami anymore. Pat Riley and the Heat still have not traded him. He's still a member of the Miami Heat. And today, about an hour-ish ago, hour and a half ago, as I'm recording this video, Jimmy Butler was suspended indefinitely this time by the Miami Heat. He's suffered, this is the third suspension now that he's had. First one was back in about, I want to say, early January, right? I think it was early January. I want to say it was either early January or end of December, where Butler was suspended for 7 games due to conduct detrimental to the team in terms of, he wasn't, he didn't think he was playing hard enough. All the things he said in his post, that famous post game interview, where he said, "My joy isn't here anymore," basically kind of requesting a trade live in a post game interview, and just many other things behind the scenes that were happening. He spent it for that 7 games, and we thought, okay, a trade's gonna have to happen soon. And I was saying, a trade's gotta happen right after that because I don't feel like there's a way where you can say, basically, come out and say, I don't want to be here anymore, and you could just put him back in the lineup. And you could just keep playing him and keep employing him. I feel like the suspension was set up for him to get traded. We go through the 7 days, he's not traded. He comes back, and they say he starts. Where they go 1-2 in those 3 games, and then he gets suspended for 2 more games for missing the flight to a team road trip. The team was on a road trip. They went to Milwaukee, then to Brooklyn, and he didn't make the flight, so they suspended him for 2 more games. And again, a lot of people thought this is set up because at that point, also there was a lot of fire getting thrown on the trade speculation. The Suns just made a trade to go get a couple first-round picks in the Utah Jazz, and it was looking like the trade was about to get done in another day or two, that this big 4 or 5 team deal is going to happen. That's going to finally send Jimmy to Phoenix. All these moving parts going to get in. So they kind of suspended him just kind of to get that out of the way. Go through two games. He was set to come back and play. And about an hour and a half ago, he was suspended indefinitely this time. Apparently, he came into shoot around this morning, and the Heat told him that they were going to bench him and put Hayward Highsmith on the starting lineup, and he walked out of practice after that, and then he was suspended indefinitely. And now he's posting Martin memes on his Instagram. And yeah, this is a situation that already is ugly, and it's getting uglier and uglier by the day. It feels like this is already the third suspension for him in the past month. So many things have been said. He had that famous meme where he was in his, coffee house, and he said, "You gotta, make your people feel wanted," and all that stuff. Sending a shout out Pat Riley. There's another report also that said, like, you went to Pat Riley's office and said to him, "I want to get traded." And there's just a lot going on right now. There's been a lot going on for the past month-ish. And this situation is just getting tiring. It's getting tiring. I was already tired of it since the post-game interview that he had, where he said, "I don't want to be here anymore," and officially kind of requested a trade. Since then, I feel like it's just been tiring. Then the suspension happened, then a lot more talking, came back and played, suspended again, and it's just a bad situation right now. And it's a lot of ego on both sides, not just Jimmy Butler, but for Pat Riley as well. I feel like I feel like this trade should have been done as soon as the first press conference came out and he said, "I don't want to get back here." The day or two after that, the trade should have been done already. I understand there's a lot of moving parts, especially with the second apron and all that stuff. It makes things a lot harder, which is why there has to be a 4 or 5 team trade involved because the Suns don't want Bradley Beal, or the Heat don't want Bradley Beal. So where are we going to send Bradley Beal? Are we going to send him to Milwaukee? But the Milwaukee came out and said, "We don't want Bradley Beal." Get send him to Chicago maybe, and Zach LaVine goes somewhere else. It's just what's going on there. I don't really know. I understand it's a lot of moving pieces. It's not an easy thing to get done in just like an hour or two. So I understand that. But I still kind of feel like Pat Riley still is kind of holding on to this a little bit too long. You know, like obviously we understand Pat Riley. He's a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest in the game, coaching wise, GM wise, all that. Pat Riley, we don't, Pat Riley's not one of those guys that you want to doubt. You know, like we all love and respect Pat Riley for what he's built in multiple different with the Knicks, with the Lakers, with the Miami Heat, all that stuff, right? But at some point, someone's got to step up and say, okay, and take the situation by the horns and say, okay, we're ending this now, and that being a trade because there's no way this relationship is salvageable at all, you know. And he's like, it's like 99% guarantee he's got to get traded by the deadline. If Jimmy Butler is still in the Miami Heat past February 6th, then this is gonna get really bad. I don't even know what's gonna happen. Jimmy Butler might not show up for the rest of the season, and I honestly I wouldn't want him to show up for the rest of the season after that, because there's always gonna be more distraction. But Pat Riley also has to take a lot of accountability in this, and him kind of holding on for this a little bit too long, holding on to his ego, trying to keep control over the situation and be the GM, be like, no, I have the power, I can do whatever I want to do. But honestly, at this point, I feel like the last few things, ever since that post-game interview, Jimmy Butler has been playing with Pat Riley. I think one of the biggest reasons Jimmy Butler has been suspended now, he had the meme with the coffee, he had the 2 suspensions now. This is all just a game for Jimmy Butler. Because Jimmy Butler knows at the end of the day, I'm going to win. I'm going to win this battle. You're going to trade me. I'm doing too much. And he's kind of poking the bear a little bit, it feels like to me, where he's like, hey, 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 I don't want to be here. Hey, hey, trade me, trade me, trade me, trade me. Like, it feels like it's like a little kid, like with his mom just saying, hey, hey, mom, mom, mom. It's like that's what it is. It's kind of just like him poking the bear, being like, hey, Pat Riley, hey, oh no, I didn't come to the plane, for the team meeting. Uh-oh, guess you're gonna suspend me. Guess you don't want me anymore, huh? Oh man, I guess I'm being a detriment to the team. Oh no, you're gonna have to trade me. Oh no, I don't want to come off the bench. I left practice. Uh-oh, that's bad. You're gonna have to trade me. Like this is what to me, this is what it feels like. It feels like he's just playing around with Pat Riley because he knows at the end of the day, everybody in the world knows what the end situation has to be. Jimmy Butler being traded. We all know that's the end goal. But Pat Riley, it's just kind of holding on to this a little bit too long. And I think everybody knows that. Also, you have to give a lot of, obviously Jimmy Butler's also taking the situation and doing a lot with it, with suspensions, with all this stuff. So obviously I'm not saying this is all Pat Riley's fault. I'm not saying that at all. Jimmy Butler also obviously has a lot to do with it because it is Jimmy Butler and he's making a big scene out of this, but then it is Jimmy Butler. This is kind of what he does. But this situation is just tiring at this point. Like I honestly, I got the notification today and I tweeted out just like the blank face just because at this point it's like why are we still doing this? Like why are we still here at this point? Why are we still at this point right now? Like it's just it's ridiculous at this point. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's annoying, and I count praying for the days that the situation is over with. And it really sucks because obviously Jimmy Butler is one of the greatest players in Miami Heat history. Like Jimmy Butler has done so much. Like Jimmy Butler since gone to the Miami Heat has raised to a different level. He's taken this team to heights that no one thought they really could reach with Jimmy Butler. Like he's done so much with this team, and he's one of the top 5 greatest players in this franchise history. Yet, we look back at another couple years when Jimmy retires and all that stuff. We're gonna remember this. We're gonna kind of remember this and be like, yeah, but remember how it ended, where he got suspended 3 times and you know requested a trade in the post game locker room and all this stuff. Like it's gonna look really weird by the end of it. And so I just don't. This situation is getting bad, and this is the last time we're going to be talking about the Jimmy Butler situation until the trade finally happens. And once the trade finally happens, which who knows when, you got like about 2 weeks to do it. Once that trade happens, we're not talking about Jimmy Butler anymore in Miami. We're talking about him in Phoenix. And hopefully that's about his game and not what he's saying off the court. Hopefully, just waiting for the day. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it a whole lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.